Oh, look, we're live. Hey. God damn it.
Just like to say,
OBS.
it is not hashtag Jay's fault this time.
It's not Jay's fault. It's not Mike's fault. I didn't even mute the stream because I'm so that, super professional. I'm still on top chat. God damn it. I can't get anything right. I try to do nice things and I can't get it right. Anyways, not to start the show on a down note, but hey, you know what? We have a majestic beard happening right now in the form of Poggy. What's up,
Good
Poggy?
evening. All
I
right.
thought you was on about me for a minute then.
You wish, Mike. You wish. Poggy, why don't you get us started here? Tell us what you're vaping on today.
Okay. Sorry, I should have done this a bit earlier. Okay. I've got a few things going on. Something a bit unusual for me. I'm on a dot mod Petri 22mm. Got some Ben South swivel craft mini Staggertons in it. Quality build, and a really good vape. In from Eco Vape, I've got the Solo F2, so I'm having a bash on this. I've been surprisingly pleased with the flavour from this Frogman coil. I think they got it in it. What else? I got? I got my Blingy Master Lung Vandy Vape Berserker RDA, and I'm vaping Pod Salt Apple in it. It's lovely. What else have we got? I've got just reviewed the Org Vape V200 with the Templar. So I'm still using that. Really nice. And I've got some Biscuit Barrel from Exceptional Vapes. Quality biscuit vape. And then I'm just finishing up my review on this, the Me Pod. Been around a while, and I have Juice Source Salts Glacier in it. It's very cold. Really good range of salts. Really good range.
And I take it you sell all these things at your shop, right?
No, I don't actually. I sell some of them, and I will be selling the salts. This one first. I'm getting them in a couple of weeks. Getting the full range in. It's quality, and then I should be following it by the pod salts in probably another 4 weeks. I sell the Templar in, and it's selling. I can't keep it in. I buy a stack in, and then they go really quite quickly. Actually, I was just thinking of this salt from Juice Source. They do a peach, which I thought would be right up your street, Nick. If I remember, I'll send you one over. I think you'll like that.
I need more oils too. You still do the oils and such?
Yeah, I can send you some. Yeah.
Oh, that would be glorious.
No worries.
They lasted me almost a full year, though. Those 2 bottles.
Yeah, because I sent some just after we met in London, wasn't it?
Yeah. So almost a full year. Right
That's
on,
good.
Poggy. So that's you tonight?
Yeah.
All right. Mike?
What's up, everyone? Nice and short for me again tonight. I'm on the Enforcer with the gold bonds on the top. And in that, I've got the Blow Elixirs Black Widow. And I'm also trying the G-Box with the, what's it called? Aquitas.
People call it the Aquitas, or I call it the Aquitas, or something like that. Huh?
It's that RDA. And in that, I've got some of the quite oddly shaped Riot Squad pink grenade.
The lipstick, or the dog dick, or
the anal plug,
the butt plug, or a 50 cal bullet, whatever you want.
Yeah, it's definitely a wrong shape for a juice bottle.
And I think it's cool.
I still can't get over the fact that it states on the back, I'm a squirter.
Yeah.
That's just wrong.
That's awesome. What are you talking about? That's great.
But yeah, that's all I'm on tonight.
Right on. Alrighty. I guess it's on to me. First, before I get started with my setups here, I'll have to make an announcement and a confession. I am not worthy. I give much credit to Jay LVC, who might be here a little bit later, and I'm sure I'm not going to hear the end of it for after the debacle this evening. But I am not as good as Jay or Stan, for that matter, as far as setting up these calls go. I'm good solo. I can manage it solo, but the second, I can't figure out how to import an audio source into OBS, I just break down and give up, and I want to cry. So I have to give credit where credit's due. Jay, LVC, Stan, Tenacious TX Vapes, they are excellent at what they do, and for putting up with everybody giving them crap. So more power to them. And I'll say it to his face if he shows up later for sure. But setups tonight, I've also got the Solo F2 in from Eco Vape, and I've actually really been digging this thing. I love the flavor, like Poggy said. Flavor is good on it. I'm vaping some Adore e-liquid. I didn't bring it with me, but it's Adore e-liquid, not from concentrate. It is a orange juice flavor, and man, you get such a pure flavor out of this thing, and clouds, actually. I mean, the vapor production is excellent. For a little kit like that, you really can't go wrong. Next one I've got, oh man, this has been my ride or die setup recently. This is the Watofo Flux kit, and I love the screen on there. Very cool looking, modern looking. Tank is nice, large capacity.
That's the one I did in collaboration with Rig Worldwide, isn't it?
With Rigmod, yeah, with Rigmod Worldwide. And it's got the actual Rig, cool looking Rig logo on the back, which you could barely see, but there you go. In there, I've got some mystery pop from Mighty Vapors. It's a candy, lollipop, whatever flavor. It's really good stuff. I've got my Vapor Storm Puma 200 watt box mod, and this is the one that Tommy sent me. And yeah, it's got the teapot on there. I like it. But I've got the Doc RDA by Plan B Supply Company on top with some Vapor Freaks Scorpus. That's what it says. I'm trying to read it backwards. Vimto juice, and I'm assuming this one is meant to taste like Vimto. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, if it says Vimto on the bottle, I would imagine so.
Well, it says Vinto with an N.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's getting away from copywriting. That is.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Can't blame them for.
But it's a very deep shade of purple, which I'm not a huge fan of, but you know what? It does make it look kind of cool. Wish they would just color their bottles instead of the juice, but you know, that's a whole story for a whole other day, I suppose. Next up, I've got the coil art setup, the Mage 217 with the Mage V2 RTA on top of there, all black and gold, looking gorgeous. Really digging that setup. Yeah, right? Right. We got the legit apple cream custard in there, which is tasty. I like it. And that one's from Hometown Hero. I do have my TS triple, but I don't have any juice in there. I forgot to bring the juice for it, which is actually Riot Squad. Grapple, whatever. Grape apple.
Grapple and Slapberry.
Yeah, that's the one. And then last but not least, I have my old school setup, my custom painted IPV Mini V2 with an original Aspire Atlantis on top of it. Yeah, dude.
That's a vaping antique right there.
Vaping antique, but you know what? It's still a valid setup. I've got some Juice Guys Arcadia in there, which is a lemon berry jawbreaker, and that's fantastic. So yeah, that's what I'm digging on today. What's everyone vaping in chat? We'll go ahead and give you guys some shout outs in a second here. Let's see. Stop presenting myself. Mike, you want to do some shout outs for me?
Yeah, sure. Shout out to Matt Chandler, Vaping Smurf, IVC Reviews, Jules Mama Vapes. How you doing, hun? Vaping Irish as well, or did I say that one already? Nope. Who else we got? We've got Richard Steed. How you doing, fella? Tom Meredith, Vaping with Mobro. What's up, dude? Kane Johnson. Where else? We got Mr. James Franklin in the house as well.
Yeah.
We have got Demo in the house as well. What's up, boy? True Vapors. What's up, Chris? Matthew Carruthers.
There you go.
Dire Thing. Steve Dilligaff Porter. How you doing, fella? Where else are we? Flavor for Days.
That's someone's name, really?
Apparently so.
Nice.
GURP SVXR. Okay.
Grr.
We've got Colette. We've got Joe McIntyre. DC Rackley. AO Vapes.
Poon Sauce McNasty.
Yep. Poon Sauce McNasty.
GBV, Great British
Yep. Adam,
Vapes.
how you doing, fella?
There you go. UK Andy.
We've got UK Andy and Carol Zions.
I'm sure there's a lot more. Right. That's enough for now. We can go through them later if you want. But yeah, I wanted to say also that I got my Vaping with the Omis shirt. Hey. And I actually got my Daily Vape shirt in, my new one. This one is awesome, and it fits really nice, and it's super soft. So I'm loving it. If you guys want to check out some merch, go to my channel, and I've got links in all my video descriptions. But welcome, everyone, to another awesome episode of the Super Awesome Vape Show, where today it's the Beard Spectacular Special. We're going to be talking about all things bearded. And I wanted to extend a happy Father's Day. Poggy, you're a father, correct? You have some kids?
I've got 3.
3 kids. Oh, man. Well, more power to you, my brother. So, yeah, happy Father's Day, man.
Cheers. Yeah, so I've got a 16-year-old who lives with his mum away from me, and then I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. 5-year-old daughter who's going on 15, and a 3-year-old. Yeah.
3-year-old.
Yeah, it's nice to
3-year-old that's tearing up the house.
Sorry.
The 3-year-old that's tearing up the house all the time, right?
Yeah. Bit of a beast.
Right on.
And just 2 more quick shout outs. We've got Stephen Whitlock.
All right.
How you doing, buddy? And we've also got Philip from Conway Valley Vapors in the house. What's up, dude?
Right on. So, yeah, what's been going on, guys? How was your week?
Busy.
Busy, yeah.
Damn
Same here.
busy.
Man. Same here. We always make these like really grandiose plans, thinking, oh, next week's episode we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this, and it's like Saturday. It's like, all right, any ideas for the show? And everyone's just like,
Yep.
burnt out.
Just while you mentioned next week's show, just like to let everyone know there is no next week's show.
That's true. I will be going to Canada for CVE, and Mike is working. Right?
Yep.
See, I won't be here for a nice circumstance where I'll be hanging out with other vapors in Canada, and Mike will be carting around a bunch of bratty kids.
Yep.
There you go.
Nice.
Yep.
So there we go.
78 of the little darlings.
Oof.
Both days, Saturday and Sunday.
More power to you as well.
I take earplugs to work.
Good call. Oh, Demo wants me to open the vape mail that he sent me. All right, I can do that, Demo. As long as you guys are cool with me opening some vape mail on camera.
Crack on, mate.
All right, hold 1 sec. All right. Well, I have a feeling I know what it is. I kind of got an inkling because Demo posted something on the Vape Stew Discord group chat there the other night about something, and he kind of like told me too much. Oh God, I really hope it's not anything that's wrong or it's from a vape company. Yeah, it's from a vape company. I think we're safe. All right, Demo. Oh, packing peanuts. God,
Is it going to be a vaping dildo?
I sure hope not. All right, let's see.
Even Jules' Mama Vapes is saying it's a strap-on.
He got me packing peanuts. Yay! Okay, I'm just kidding. So this is from Reload Vapor USA. And I got to cut this thing. I knew it, Demo. I knew it. I didn't want to, tried not to spoil the surprise, but you said it was purple, and I'm like, oh boy. And I actually guessed it was the sexy vape. If you actually tracked one down, I would be really impressed. Oh, dude. Look at that.
Nice purple reload.
Purple reload. And Demo rocks this thing on his Defiant Designs. I think he's got the TS in purple, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. He's either got the DS or the TS in purple, but damn, the purple matches really, really well, too. Let me just throw this thing on here real quick. Thank you, Demo. Dude, it's not even my birthday or anything, but hey, thank you, Demo. Really appreciate it, buddy. But this thing looks gorgeous on there. And I also just bought myself a purple Dreamer. I bought an aluminum Dreamer from Stan. So that is coming in next week. So this will either be living on there or on this thing. And look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Thanks, Demo. Really appreciate that, buddy. Now I'm going to have to get him something. Oh, what? That is a crazy looking deck, too. Cool. Good stuff. All right.
Nice. Someone in chat was asking, have you cleaned up your rig pig yet?
Yes, actually, wait. Did I bring it? Yes, I did. I polished it yesterday, and it's already starting to tarnish down again. But you know what? What can you do?
Damn.
Might be using this at some point tonight as well. But yeah,
You need to get some of that polish that's got a wax built into it.
I just need to wear white gloves the entire time I vape on it. I was thinking about that. I'm like, if I just wore like rubber gloves or like fabric gloves or something while I vaped on it, then I was thinking, I'm like, I would look like a lunatic if I did that. So
I've just got no comment to that.
Just the Michael Jackson of vaping, just one glove.
Have to be a diamond encrusted glove, though.
Matt Chandler says use car polish. I'm afraid to use anything that's not like, I don't know. I use this stuff called tube lube. Okay. And it's actually made from plant extracts. It's, it's not all natural, but it's more natural than the abrasive polishes. It has an extract from seaweed, and it's green. It looks like green slime when you like pour it out onto your microfiber cloth. And you only need a little tiny, like probably, about the size of a pound or something. And just a little dab on a cloth, and then you wipe it on, like get it all covered, and then you take the dry side of the microfiber and just buff it off, and that's it. It's really, really quick, less messy, doesn't leave any residue, and it's non-toxic. So, if someone ingests it, then it's not going to kill them, but it's not completely, 100% organic or natural. So there is, some risk involved, but less than the grittier polishes and whatnot.
Yeah. So I mean, I still use teacup on when mine are really tarnished.
And is that an abrasive? Does it have an added like abrasiveness
to
it?
It's a car polish.
Oh, okay. So it must not be.
Teacup is a car polish for getting like tar marks off of, like the little tar spots you get on your car.
Yeah.
It's like basically it's like a cutting compound.
All right on.
I use that, and then I go over it with either Brasso or what's it called? What's this other stuff I use called? I've forgotten now.
See, old man forgets things. That's what happens.
Cape Cod. That's the one. That stuff.
Nice. Oh, Cape
not-
Cod Class, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically just that's all it is. A polish impregnated microfiber cloth.
Well, you're the mod polishing professional, Mike, so I trust you.
I use that on the RDAs as well. All I do is I make sure I put them through the ultrasonic cleaner once I've done the polishing to get rid of all the residue.
I used to use Mother's Mag, but it feels like it's more aggressive of a polish and it leaves a lot of residue. I usually had to like rinse and scrub my mods after.
Yeah.
I would polish it with that stuff.
Yeah, to me, it's all part of the cleaning process.
Yeah, it's just a pain. I just prefer not to.
Yes, James Franklin, you've got to keep that shaft clean, mate.
Switching gears for a moment, if we could, I wanted to actually get some legitimate bearding tips from Hoggy.
No.
Yes, dude, you're the vaping Paganophile, man. Like, I want to hear some professional beard tips from the man himself. I mean, your beard, it's gorgeous. Look at it. It's glorious. How do you take care of it?
I don't. You know what? I'm probably the worst beard care person. Okay, no, I mean, the first and foremost is that I have a decent barber, and so I go probably every 3 or 4 weeks, depending on when I can get in, and I leave them to kind of keep the shape. I mean, you may have noticed I've taken some off at the moment. It used to be probably 2 inches longer, and it was just getting, because I'm naturally curly.
No, we couldn't tell at all.
And what happens with the beard when it gets longer and longer is that it starts tangling up and knotting right at the end, so it makes it really difficult to comb.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
So by trimming it, getting it trimmed back, it just saves that issue. But I mean, I'm part of a few beard clubs. Beard face Facebook groups, and there's millions of ways of how people treat their beards. I'm quite simple in that I just rinse through when I have a shower. I only wash it once a week, so not to dry it out with conditioner. And then every day once I've rinsed it out, I use a beard oil, and I use the tiniest little drop in my hand, rub it through, and then comb through. One with a wide, in fact, I can show you.
There you go.
As I have one here. So I use a wide comb.
Okay.
Because it doesn't pull at your beard so harshly.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have a thinner groove one that I would go through afterwards to kind of smooth it over.
And you use a plastic comb. That's interesting.
Yeah. In all honesty, it was I said to my wife that she was going to a particular shop where I knew that they sold these. And I says, "Can you pick us something like this?" And that's the only reason I mean, when I first got the beard, I bought a really posh wooden comb that cost me 25 quid or something.
Oh man!
But I mean, I still use it, but not. But I find this one that I've shown you more effective, and not so harsh on my beard.
I've got this one right here. Yeah, I tend to use wooden combs.
That's my beard brush.
Oh, it looks like your toothbrush, Mike.
It's boar bristle.
Yeah, I mean,
Matt,
I've also got a brush that if I'm going out, I will brush through, because what it does is keep the finer hairs that jump out, keeps it more compact.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm lucky because I have a full-bodied beard that even if I don't really take too much care to it, then it kind of looks all right from a distance. If you get my drift, you'd have to
yeah,
come up.
you
I think
say
you have to come up real close to get discrepancies. You know.
yeah, but you say you are the worst at taking care of your beard. I think I'm the worst at taking care of mine because like I just do it myself. Like I don't have a good barber. So I just trim it when I feel like it needs it. And when I'm getting those really like one single super long hairs that sticks way out and it's just like, okay, this is starting to look a little bit raggedy. Like honestly, I feel like I'm going to need a trim pretty soon. But yeah, I trim back the mustache a little bit as well because I can't stand when I'm vaping and you exhale and you have those little water droplets right
Yeah.
there on the tip, and you're just like, every 5 seconds.
I mean, I mean, when I first started, I wanted to grow out the mustache as well, and the thing you have to do when you're growing out your mustache is that every day you have to go through a training process, and if you, I mean, I'm part of a national, or it's actually an international club called Beard Club on Facebook. With in fact, the barbers that I go to, some of the national champion and the third in the world champion for natural beard goes to the same barber as me. Yeah, so talking to these guys, they train their mustache to stop it, and it's literally months and months of training. They use a bit of wax. I mean, like, if I want to twizzle, I could twizzle because I have a
Nice.
decent amount here, but I trim it here
Right.
for similar reasons. For two, there's nothing worse than a moist mustache after. I'll leave that just there, and then
Go on.
and the other is there's nothing worse than eating it with a burger or sandwich.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, I have a tiny bit. Like I could do like the little baby twists, but mine just does not want to behave. I don't train mine at all. I just kind of let it do its own thing. But just right over the lip is just really where it bugs me. Not to mention you can feel it. If you just let it hang, you can just feel it on your lip constantly. And that is just the most annoying thing ever. But yeah, I can't stand the soul patch either. So I have to trim that back as well. And I do like the same thing as you. I wash it every once in a while, probably not even once a week, to be honest. Like whenever I feel like it just needs a little wash, I'll just do a teensy bit of shampoo in there. And I don't think it's really necessary to get any sort of beard shampoo or anything because
No. No, I completely agree. And the conditioner I use isn't beard stuff. It's my wife's. So it's usually a decent. It's a decent conditioner because my wife spends a fortune on these kind of things. So and I don't see any good reason that it has to have beard in the name for either a shampoo or a conditioner for it to be more effective to your beard.
Yeah, it's hair.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're looking at wanting, if you're getting to the length, especially if you're getting to the length that at the length that I am, then you definitely want decent shampoos and decent conditioners. But I'm saying is that you don't want to pay that extra tenner just because it's got beard written on it,
Right, exactly. And people go nuts with that sort of stuff too. Like they go on like Amazon or something and they just buy everything beard related. But I use a beard oil, and honestly I use a little tiny bit of It's like a hair conditioner as well. It's like an after shower conditioner. It's called, it's like bio oil or something like that. I forget the actual name of it, but it's basically just like a vitamin E and D oil. And it smells a little bit funky, so I usually do a little tiny drop of that and a little drop of beard oil, mix them together, and then just run it through, comb it out, and then I'm good to go all day long. And it conditions the skin underneath as well. That's one of the most important
things. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Right.
It's with the oils. It's about that it goes to the skin and keeps your skin moisturized underneath your beard, because that's obviously where it's growing from.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I must admit, I tend to use the beard balm over the beard oil.
Yeah. So there are some arguments. There's some discussion with people that when you get to a certain length, that you kind of switch from a beard oil and maybe move into like a balm. Because it's more effective towards the beard. But as I say, there's a discussion point. But I've always just kept on with my oils. I'm happy, and I have a soft, smooth beard.
Yep. I guess it's just each to their own, isn't it? Really.
Exactly.
But I mean, as far as shampoo and that's concerned, I have been known just to use fairy liquid.
Well, that's because you don't have anything on top to worry about.
Yeah, well, that's beside the point.
Oh man,
Bit of fairy liquid does a bit of the old Mr. Shane, doesn't it? Shifts, shields, and shines.
See, we need Jay here right now, because I would have to ask him what type of badger wash he uses. Oh man. But bearding, the term bearding, right? I feel like that's kind of a newer thing, but bearding is actually way easier than people think. Just let it grow. Give it a trim every now and then when it needs it, and don't fiddle with it too much. If you're constantly constantly combing it, you're going to just have, bald patches because you're just pulling all the hairs out.
Yeah.
But it's just let it grow. That's why I started the beard in the first place, because I was lazy. I didn't like shaving every day. So I'm just like, beard.
I do get a few people, generally people in the 20s, who want to grow a beard, maybe because they've seen so many others with beards, and they think that they would like to join in as well, and that they struggle to grow a beard.
Yeah. Majority of the people in their 20s, when they grow a beard, it just looks like bum fluff.
Well, that's the thing, and it's just reminding. It's kind of saying, "Cheers, Stephen." It's just reminding. When I was in my 20s, I couldn't have grown a beard.
Mm-hmm.
I've only had a beard for the last 3 years. Yes, oh goodness, 3 years now. Yeah, I started growing mine 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have even dreamt of doing it 10 years ago. It just wouldn't have. It would have been a struggle to have what I have now, and I think it's purely with age that I've been able to have this masterpiece.
Yeah, I'm just waiting another few months before I get mine platted.
Here's the thing, Poggy. What would it take for you to shave it?
Ooh, that would be a big fuck off. That would be a big fuck off GoFundMe page.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things actually that would kind of prevent me. One, what I am at the moment and my business is all my logo and everything is surrounded by a beard. So that's one reason why I wouldn't. The second is, and I think kind of more importantly, is that I'd have to think very carefully, because my 3-year-old son has never known me without a beard.
Wow.
And so it would actually, I think, from seeing things on Facebook of these people who shave themselves and then show their children and their children cry because they don't know who. It's because I've seen these things. It's kind of it would be, but it would break my heart to see my son be upset because he couldn't recognize me.
Right.
So there would be having to walk. If I had to come to the point of that I was going to take my beard, it would have to be well organized with my youngest son. My daughter would probably understand a bit more, but she's actually seen me without a beard. But yeah, so how much would it take? I don't know. A lot.
Well, you kind of like roped yourself in with the whole logo branding thing. Like,
Yeah.
you really can't shave it now. I mean, at the very most you could do is just take it down to like just, the outline, very short beard, if anything, but you kind of have to keep it. Like, you kind of have to.
It's a good job that I'm quite happy the way I am. That's the good thing.
Street Sleeper says, have you ever used your beard for wicking?
I saw that.
Personally, I've never used it for wicking, but when I did used to smoke, I did set it on fire once.
How did you manage that, Mike?
You don't want to know.
Okay, fair enough. Like,
just say I missed the cigarette and lit my beard instead.
Were there a few alcoholic beverages involved?
No, I was concentrating on something else.
Oh, fair enough. All right.
That sounds even worse.
Yeah, I know.
I was driving at the time.
Okay.
And not that kind of driving before you say it either.
Oh my God. After show. There you go. So yeah. Anyways, let's switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about vaping. Something that's come about recently that I'm pretty happy to announce is that Canada, their public health system has embraced vaping, kind of out of nowhere too, which is really weird.
Good.
They've made public statements that say, nicotine is not known to cause cancer. There's no carcinogens in vaping and things of that nature. And it feels like they're going kind of on the coattails of the UK, where the UK just came out and said, hey, this is better than smoking. You should probably switch to doing vaping instead of smoking cigarettes. And, I'm just wondering, well, I'm not really wondering. I know why the US doesn't follow suit, but I'm just hoping that one day the US will be able to kind of get their head out of their ass and follow suit with these countries that seem more progressive than the country that calls itself the greatest country in the world. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that whole situation. Entire countries, their public health systems coming out and embracing vaping.
It's about time.
I agree.
Was it something personal that happened to me? To kind of go with what you're saying about the UK, I was contacted by the NHS, which is the National Health Service in the UK, and they do a magazine. Well, they do several magazines, but they do one that goes to all the GPs in the surgeries, hospitals, this or the other, and then they also do one that goes to hospitals and which goes into sitting rooms and for the patients to read and this and the other, and which I have 2 of the copies here. Okay, the reason I have 2 of the copies here is because they asked me to put my shop in it.
What?
Nice.
Wow.
So for those 2 magazines, I have a full page spread, technically advertising in the NHS magazines for Warwickshire, which
Good.
is kind of a big coup, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
And also, I also I'm the only one that can advertise in it. So, and that's for a year.
Wow.
And then when it comes up to renew, I get first dibs on the next year.
And this is something they asked you to do this. You didn't pay them?
They approached me to do
What?
that.
That's crazy.
And yes, I did pay for that to happen, but they approached me to do it. Yeah,
right.
So it was paying for space, but for me to be able to go into that magazine is a huge thing. You know, it's NHS.
Yeah, it's a huge step in the right direction.
Yeah, and that's in hospitals. Like that's in places.
I've said it before. I did read a couple of months ago, well, quite a few months ago now, that the NHS are getting rid of the smoking shelters in our hospitals, in the grounds, and they're outright banning smoking from the grounds of the hospital. But they're also talking, and they're still talking about it, about opening up the vape lounges in each ward of the hospital.
Yeah.
So where we used to have a room set aside about 10 plus years ago, we used to be able to go and smoke in these rooms in the hospitals. They're going to set the same rooms aside for us to go and vape in. Which, again, is a step in the right direction.
So just going back to Canada, so is it the S5 bill or the bill S5? Is that not going through now? Or do you not know that much?
I haven't really looked into it as far as that is concerned, because I know they still have like they still have their own like legislation on the table, and that's why I thought this news was kind of strange, if anything.
Well, because the bill, I might be wrong in what it's called, but it's either called the S5 bill or the bill S5,
right?
Which I know people in Canada have been fighting, because though they will continue to allow, I only know parts of it, but they will continue to allow vaping, so not ban it, not ban flavors, but what they're going to stop is so like if someone comes into the shop and asks a question, the person can't answer that question. It will be against the law to answer that question.
As far as like a health question, you're saying, or is it just any?
So someone can come in and go, I want a breeze and I want some Nick salts, and the guy can go, yeah, that's fine, that's $30 or whatever, yeah. But if he comes in and says, how do I change the coil in this, or what is Nick salts, they can't answer that question. They're not allowed to. There's a something in there. There's this kind of block on information that is allowed to be passed over. This is what this bill S. I mean, there's lots of other bits to it, but it's this lack of this block on information that they're allowed to give.
So I don't mean to interrupt you, but it appears we have an expert in chat right now. Bronco Monk said S5 passed May 28th. They'll have 180 days to change their labeling before it gets pulled off the market. And that part of S5 was changed. Advertisement and helping will be promoted. So that's good. I mean, it's the give and take with any bill is definitely good, because 9 times out of 10, the bills that they are putting on the table are more than likely going to get passed. These flavor bans in America, more than likely going to get passed. The least we can do is kind of compromise with the lawmakers at the very least, and then work on them to get it retracted. But you know what? That's a whole other conversation. But as far as Canada is concerned, I mean, we have things in America like we can't make health claims. We can't say vaping is better than smoking. Like as a shop employee, I can't tell people that. I can tell you personal stories, my personal story, and other customers are allowed to help as well. And usually I'll do that. If there's a customer that comes in and asks a question about health, and there's another, regular hanging out at the shop, I'll just be like, so Mike, could you tell this person about your story, you know, and they'll go on and tell them how much better it is for them. But I personally can't tell you that vaping is better than smoking. And I feel like that's kind of what they were trying to do in Canada. But there's still leaps and bounds ahead of America, because in America we're trying to ban flavors, and because it's appealing to children. Yeah. But I feel like there's more bans on vapor products nowadays, or more legislation on vapor products nowadays than cigarettes. I mean, the bottom line is cigarettes are still allowed to be sold. And, you know, if we know something's bad for us and we continue to let it be on the market, then why is it that we are taking away the opportunity to provide them with a means to quit said bad habit, you know? So it just doesn't make any sense to me there. But, you know, it's a little bit of give and take and compromise and that kind of thing, which is better than nothing. But it's still a step in the right direction for Canada for sure. But yeah.
I have known and worked with one of the guys who's been fighting against the bill right from the beginning. Just trying to think. His name's Hal. His company is Vap Select. Have you heard of them? They're a distribution company in Canada, Montreal, Canada. No, okay, you'll bypass it.
Well, I mean, if it's relevant, go ahead and talk about it.
No, it's all right. He's the one that I've been kind of talking to early days about it. But I mean, I follow him on Facebook, and he's been heavily involved in fighting certain parts of the bill in Canada, which, right, by the sounds of things, from what Bronco said, is that certain parts of it has been changed because of this fight that some of the vapors have put in,
right?
Which is great.
And yeah, I'm really looking forward to going up there and just finding out more about this sort of stuff, because I'm very curious. You know, when I went to the UK, I learned a lot about the TPD, and just talking with you guys, just learning how things are evolving and changing and constantly kind of, you know, things are happening over there in the UK, and just the differences. You know, we talked on a show a couple weeks ago about the differences between the fight in the UK versus America, and it's a very different fight for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very lucky.
I think you are in a lot of senses, but you know, yesterday I was nicking up this bottle of juice, and I'm just sitting there squeezing this stupid Nick shot, and I'm just like, this sucks. Like, man, I count my blessings to just be allowed the opportunity to have a bottle with nicotine already in it, ready to go, and not have to put shots of nicotine in my liquids.
And it's actually, we're now getting into a habit of tasting juices very different to what they're actually meant to be, because we're now so for example, companies are steeping their juices with nicotine in the US, yeah, versus us in the UK. We're taking juice, we're adding nic, and then we're vaping it. We're not giving it time, or the majority are not giving it time for it to steep for what it's meant to, so that it tastes how it was kind of made in the first place. Does that make? Yeah. Am I making sense? Sorry.
Yeah. And I've actually talked about this with my American friends, and they're like, "So wait, they can't have nicotine in their juice if it's bigger than 10 mil?" I said, "Yes." And they're like, "Well, how does it steep?" I said, "Here's the thing. In the UK, they flavor a short fill bottle for 60 mil, but they only put 50 mils of juice in the bottle. So they have extra flavoring in 50 mils. So if you vape 0 milligram, you're going to get over flavored, oversaturated juice. And there's really no way around that. I mean, I don't think anyone's doing no one. You don't have to go 0 milligram through TPD, correct?
That's right. Yeah. That's the loophole in the law.
So I would assume that there's almost no 60 mil bottles with just 0 milligram in it, right?
No.
So it's
Sorry, a full 60.
right.
Yeah, I'll come on to something in a minute, but I'll let you finish what you're saying first, yeah? But no,
Right.
there's no 60, it's 50. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you over flavor your juice to be able to add the nicotine shot in there. And with that, I mean, they only allow for an extra 10 mil nicotine shot. So if you vape 6 milligram, you're kind of screwed. You have to either put more nicotine in it after you nick shot it, or you have to use a different type of nick shot or something like that, or you have to just have a bottle of nicotine, which I doubt many people have over there. But
it's pretty easy to get the 72 milligram nicotine.
Okay, fair enough. But it's still kind of a pain in the ass to do.
Yeah.
But you're over flavoring your juices and over sweetening your juices so that you don't need steep time. It's just, shake and vape ready to go. But I've noticed that a lot of your flavors are very pungent. They're very powerful flavors that, you don't really tend to need steep time on anyways. Like a lot of the fruit flavors, I feel like you guys don't need steep time. Desserts, that's a whole other story.
Yeah,
But
desserts need about a minimum of 2 weeks steep time.
right, and that's what I like. I feel like you guys should be pre-ordering your dessert flavors weeks in advance and Nick shot them up and just let them sit on your shelves, because dessert flavors really need that steep time. But
Funny, that's exactly what I do.
Poggy,
but sorry, I was going to say, yeah, but Mike, kind of what you're doing, and you know where that end goal is.
Yeah.
What I'm kind of saying is, a lot of people walking in the shop are novices.
Oh yeah,
That people that have known no better than right. They just go into a shop and they say, right, you just take your bottle, you put your nick in it, you shake it. They might say, oh, it's ready to go there and then. I mean, I normally say at least leave it for 12 hours, but sometimes they're filling it and then using it straight away, straight into the tank once they're giving it a good shake.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I did witness someone a couple of weeks ago actually put a nick shot into a bottle and put it straight in the tank without even shaking it.
Oh, God.
No, I've seen it as well.
Oh, man.
I mean,
then they wonder why they're coughing their guts up.
And you broach about the 6 milligram is that all short fills are guided towards 3 milligram.
Yep.
Right.
And so if someone does, and there are quite a lot, 3 milligram is the majority of sub-ohm vapors.
Mm-hmm.
But with there are still quite a few sub-ohm vapors that vape at 6 milligram.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for them, if they to get nearer to what they want, they would need to put another half nick in. Now, the actual measurement of putting an extra half a bottle of 18 milligram flavorless shot, it comes out at 5.8, not 6.
Yep.
And you've also got to take into account is that, which is another point I'll come to in a minute, but is that it changes the flavor again because the measurements for the 50 mil have been made for 60 mil, not 65.
Mm-hmm.
So you're diluting the flavor just because you want to have it at 6 milligram or 5.8. So you're losing flavor by adding that extra 6 milligram. So yes, the people who like 6 milligram are missing out on having the exact measurement that they want and the flavor from what they should be getting.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that I wanted to point out, which was the majority of companies who are doing it properly, are changing the measurements on a 50 ml to allow for a flavorless shot. The problem is that not everyone is, and that the people are making 60 ml of juice, taking 10 ml out, and then just selling it as a 50 ml, but they haven't done anything to change it to allow for a flavorless shot in. So these shots, these short fills, are being sold as diluted original flavors because the companies have been too lazy to change the measurement on the shots, on the short fills.
But is this UK companies doing this?
Well, the ones that I've heard most of are American companies.
Ah, okay, yeah. See, that's why I'm glad I got the experience to go over there and like talk with you guys about it and learn about Nick shots and how things work over there and all that, because as a company, I'd say, oh yeah, we could do that, no problem. Just dump out 10 mils of juice out of the bottle and send it on over. No, it's much different. You have to over flavor 50 mils of juice for 60 mil. And, I feel like even in some cases that the choice of Nick shot you use is going to make a difference as well. I mean, most of them that I've seen are VG based, which is good, but not all of them. And, the quality, just like there's different qualities of VG and PG, is going to be different depending on which Nick shot you use.
Well, I mean, I when I first opened up, I took in Nick shots from a whole load of different companies to try them out, because through reviewing, the one thing I found was that a company will send their juice and a Nick shot, and they work fine together. But if you use that Nick shot with someone else's juice, it reacts completely different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the chemistry, but I do know from trying these things out and finding that this Nick shot works fine with this one, but I try it with someone else's and it doesn't work at all. Either it's too harsh, it stays harsh, or that it's harsh to begin with and then that drops off. But yeah, so I mean, I've come down and I've found a Nick shot that I found whatever juice that I put it in, it reacts well with. Conway, I use sluice juice. They're Nick shots.
Well, there you go.
I'm sorry, I'm just answering the question as well.
Yeah. So I saw a question earlier in chat that said, will America do Nick shots if, things get banned over there? And my answer to that would be probably. However, we are getting double dosage here. We have on some cities and some locations flavor bans, and then some locations we have nicotine e-juice containing nicotine taxes. So 10 cents per milliliter, 20 cents per milliliter here, and then flavor bans over here. So I feel like in certain markets, they're going to do flavor shots, if anything. So you have your juice bottle ready to go with nicotine in it and VG, and you just do a shot of flavor. And then over here in this state, you're going to have to do a nicotine shot in a flavored 50 ml short fill bottle. So it can be not only very confusing for most people, but also it's very hard for companies to do both. And not to mention the fact that they would still have to maintain a normal manufacturing schedule for the states that don't have these laws. So it's going to be difficult to sell. Let's just take, for instance, my company, Blaz. I mean, we've worked with companies before with their taxes, their state taxes and whatnot, and we've dropped our wholesale cost because of the special circumstance, and either split the tax or do something to help them out to be able to sell our liquid in their state. But certain states require you to be manufactured by a certain company, which is a real big pain. And now we're having the flavor bans and nicotine taxes. So to be able to do like 4 different ways of making juice is going to be nearly impossible for any smaller company to be able to handle. So it's only going to be the big giant mega lab sort of companies that will be able to hit all 4 processes to be able to sell across the country, which is going to be very difficult, man. It's going to be tough. So that's why we need to stop these bans and taxes from happening.
I think from what I gather is that it isn't necessarily that the USA are going to go down the route that the UK have with having short fills anyway. It's whether you're going to have it or not, really. Is that right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what the point that I was getting at basically is that, you know, certain companies just won't do it. They won't bother with it. They'll say, well, we lost New Jersey, you know, we lost New York. We'll sell in the rest of the 48 states, you know. And that is going to be really unfortunate for not only the vapors in those states. They can't get their favorite flavors or their favorite, you know, juices. But they're also going to be hurting the companies as well, because that's just a whole state that you can't even sell your juice in. It's just, why bother? Gone, done.
So just to clarify, so if I was in a banned state, yeah, and so like in the UK, if I go to GearBest and buy a 10 mil tank, it will arrive to me, even though it's technically banned in this country. Yeah, I would still be able to get that and then use it. So if I was in a state that was banned, a flavor ban, but I went to a different state which it wasn't, online, and ordered juice online which was flavored, would I still be able to get it posted to me, or would there be an element of policing that they'd stop that from happening as well?
It depends. So my thought process in that situation would be that, because, like, you know, even with now, certain states require an adult signature on a delivery. Certain states you can't discount nicotine products. Discount codes, just, you can't use them. So it all depends on your shipping address, you know, that kind of thing, where it's being sent to. So in the state of Pennsylvania, you're meant to be taxed 40% on whatever you buy in state or out of state. So if you buy something out of state and it gets dropped off to you, you have to fill out tax forms on that and submit them and pay taxes on it, which I think is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But in other cases, like Indiana for the longest time wasn't able to get e-liquids from out of state. It just wasn't even an option. When you go to the shipping information, Indiana was crossed off. Yeah, you could not even ship into Indiana. Unfortunately, it's just a law. I believe it has been overturned recently, so now they can get out-of-state juice, which is good. However, we're all still struggling with all of these crazy local bans, citywide taxes. Just every different, you know, aspect of the U.S. has its own governing process. So, I mean, if my city here where I live wanted to ban flavored e-liquids, they could. Luckily, they haven't, but, you know, and the city can do it, counties can do it, states can do it, and nationally they can do it. So there's just so many different levels of political process that things can happen in, where you have all these very specific laws. I mean, technically, if I work in Connecticut and I live in Massachusetts, it's, you know, 2 different states. The laws are different. You know, Massachusetts is considering 21 plus, being you have to be 21 years of age or older in order to buy tobacco products. Connecticut, there's been no word on that such a thing quite yet, but, you know, they could follow suit. So technically speaking, if it got, you know, banned for anyone under 21 in Massachusetts, they could come across the line to my shop, buy a juice, bring it back to Massachusetts. Simple as that. And that's the only thing that the states are doing by doing these bans and these taxes is they're hurting themselves. Because at the end of the day, people are going to get it one way or the other. They're going to be able to get it somehow.
Well, it's prohibition, isn't it?
It is prohibition. We're seeing this, a new age, a new era of prohibition here.
And it will just be the same as it was, back in the 50s, It'll just suddenly become, it'll be driven underground. And
you'll end up with vape easies instead of...
Vape easies. There it is, Mike. I love it. Vape easies. I would actually love to theme a vape shop like a speakeasy. That would be pretty freaking cool. I mean, secret entrance, hidden behind a bookcase or something,
That's it.
But, jokes aside, it is a travesty over here of what's going on. It sucks. And it's all due to the appealing to kids thing. It's appealing to children. And my whole thing is, you got to crack a couple eggs in order to make an omelet here. We're trying to stop hundreds of years of damage from the tobacco industry, and it's not going to happen overnight. We're going to have to be vetted as an industry. And before we do that, we're going to have to fight our asses off in order to even get to that point. People always use the old excuse of, oh, well, look at the alcohol industry. And like you said, Poggy, prohibition, we went through prohibition. It lasted nearly 10 years. And
because you've still got a dry state over there, haven't you?
Yeah, there's dry states, there's dry counties, there's dry cities all over the place. And there's their own specific laws for the alcohol industry. But it took 100 years for the alcohol industry to be vetted, to be able to get to the point that they're at now, where they're using food products on their labels. You see cotton candy vodka. That's a big one that everyone talks about. And like I always say, kids are going to get their hands on it no matter what. I feel like the people that are running this country have forgotten what it's like to be a kid, because back when I was a kid, we would get our hands on alcohol. We would get our hands on cigarettes. We would get our hands on everything that we weren't meant to have one way or another. We always found a way to get it. So if it means a couple of kids getting their hands on vapor products in order to save millions of lives, then I'm okay with that. And I would just rather see education and not fear mongering. And that's what we're seeing right now is fear mongering from the government. They're putting out advertisements on TV with kids with little USB slots for mouths, and they're plugging in e-cigarettes, and the government's trying to turn you into a robot, thinking that vaping is safer, blah blah blah. And Big Tobacco rather. Big Tobacco is trying to force your kids to get into their systems and blah blah blah. It's just the stupid rhetoric that you hear day in day out about why vaping is bad, that they're playing on television, and that yet they're banning our products. They're limiting what we can and can't do. They're forcing us to put massive warnings and taking off specific imagery off of our products. And lo and behold, we have, kids getting their hands on everything anyways. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We could have gray labels with nothing on them. Like one of the most popular devices that kids are using is the Juul. The Juul is probably the most adult branded product out there. And yet they're still going after it, saying it's appealing to children for the flavors themselves, the fruit flavors and, mango. It's like, but yeah, adults like flavors too. But
yes,
sorry, rant over. Carry on.
I think that's where vape companies should be stepping in, and where packaging comes in. And though they are flavors from our childhood, they shouldn't be packaged as that. They should be adult packaging and such like. I think that's where
it's the line, right?
Yeah.
There's a thin line where on one side you have completely child friendly branded. I can't really say that with a straight face. Like, you have to say child friendly branding, because like you could put fruits and stuff like that on a package, and what makes it child appealing? You know, is it a piece of fruit? Is fruit child appealing? When was the last time you saw a kid eat a piece of fruit? But it's my problem more or less is with intellectual property theft. It's with these companies that take a logo, change it to their name, and then make it the same exact colors and fonts and styles and all that.
No imagination.
But that is almost worse than what some people would call child-friendly branding, because you can have like a really colorful, poppy, you know, bright logo and label and not be technically child appealing because it doesn't have the same exact logo with a different wording as a candy like company. You know, like you see them all the time with Sour Patch Kids and this and that. We've been dealing with that for a very long time, and that's the type of flavors that they're going after. Oh, look, cotton candy, Sour Patch Kids, gummy worms, all that stuff gets attacked all the time. And it's like, I don't know about you guys, but I love Sour Patch Kids. I love gummy bears. I'm an adult. I'm 31 years old. I love flavors, you know, of all different descriptions. But it's that fine line, you know, where companies have to be the responsible ones in this matter and just do the right thing for the good of our industry. But most of them aren't. Let's face it. Most of them aren't. They're giving up on the American market. They're going over to Europe and Russia and China and all these other different markets, South America, and trying to set up shop there. And that's what I have a problem with, because they're giving up. They're giving up on the American market. They don't care anymore. Yeah, Bronco Monk says the U.S. is not the land of the free; it's the land of money. Yeah, well, it's all about money at the end of the day. And like I said, though, like the American companies are giving up on the U.S. market, so they're not putting any money into the fight for the American market. They're not funding the lawsuit against the FDA. They're not helping us at all. They're just like, oh, well, we're spending gobs of money trying to break into a market that's developing, where the same thing is going to happen in 10 more years. So it's frustrating.
Oh, sounds like Joe McIntyre's a Haribo addict.
Oh, I am too, man. I seriously am. You'd have no idea how excited I got when my coily tool showed up with Haribo in the package. I was so stoked on that. Even though it was a little tiny package, I was like, oh, yes. Robbie F says, so health doesn't come into it at all, really. No. In America, no. They try to put forth these things, that these like tweaked studies, you know, the studies that are kind of tweaked information, falsified, if you will. They try to put forth these health claims that vaping is so much worse than smoking, and they fall flat on their face every time they do. So the only defense they have is going after the parents that say, like, are so concerned about their children. Think of the children. Think of the children. And I think that's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. But I don't know. We got to talk about something happier.
Yeah.
I'm getting depressed. Have you seen anything? All right, here, Puggy. Question for you. You're a shop owner.
Yeah.
What are you excited about at the moment as far as vaping products are concerned? What's really hot right now? What are you looking forward to? What do you think?
Sorry, can you say that again? What's
the hottest selling products in your shop? What are you looking forward to that you've seen coming out soon, like new product wise?
the things that I'm looking to get in?
Yeah.
Well, on the salt front, it has to be these. Salt by Juice Source. They There's just some really good flavors, really good. And I have to say, these ain't far behind either. Pod Salt by My Vapory. A lot of theirs are banging as well. So yeah, I'm definitely going to get the salt in. At the moment, things that are flying out. A lot of my customers, they like a menthol or ice flavored juice. So I've got a couple of a rainbow sherbet with ice and a cherry bomb with ice by a company called Reckless Vape Co. It's a relatively new company, which is selling very, very well. Some of my old favourites from Sluice Juice, they do some really good menthols. So they're selling really well. I mean, I'm a huge dessert fan, and so I have this huge list of desserts that I want to get in, but I don't have the clientele. So, like, if I took all my clientele, it's probably about 10% of dessert fans, which is really disappointing for me because that's kind of my forte. So I have to hold on and not quite get them in just yet. Hardware-wise, it's a difficult one. I'm definitely bringing in the Proton kit, Innikins 200 watt. That's seems like a quality machine. What was the other thing? See, the one thing I've been looking for is internal battery mods.
Have you seen the new Vapresso Revenger with built-in batteries?
No, I haven't.
It's a really good one. I'm a big fan of the Revenger kit in general, but now they came out with a new one. There's like a gold version and a silver version, and they have built-in batteries, which is pretty neat. I mean, personally, I'm not a huge fan of built-in battery mods because it's essentially just like having two 18650s built into your unit, and you just charge it with the USB. But my problem with built-in battery devices is you have to USB charge it. If there's anything wrong with your USB charging port, you're screwed. With removable batteries, you can take them out, you can replace them, you can swap them. Even if a battery decides to, die on you randomly, you can just replace it, no problem. However, it's very, very convenient for the newbie vapors that don't want to deal with removable batteries. I remember the eLeaf iStick 50 watt was a big, big, big seller because it was just so easy, so simple.
But I've just found that through my short period of time, is that there are people who just want the simplicity of something that they can plug in, charge up, and then vape for as long as they possibly can, and it's just finding something that is suitable for them. And the only thing, and it's an age-old mod that I see as being suitable, is the Innikin Coolfire series.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Actually, go ahead.
No, and looking around for something that is over 100 watts, that is going to give them a decent life, is the Coolfire 150.
That's actually a really nice mod, not gonna lie.
And it's becoming vintage. Coolfire is, but it is still a good standing solid mod that delivers what some vapors need and want.
They
sorry, and for the new stuff that's coming out that has got internal battery, for example, the Aspire, the Typhoon. It only goes up to 100 watts, but yet some people are wanting to be firing these big coils at around 100 watts. But you don't want a 100 watt mod to be firing a coil at between 80 and 100 watts.
Right.
You want something that's not going to be so heavy. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
please tell me if you know of another 150 or 200 watt internal battery,
Well, there's
which is
I was going to say that with the Innikins, the Coolfire 150, they have plexus coils now for the Scion tank. So you can get the kit with the Coolfire 150 that comes with their Scion tank, and now they have the plexus coils, which are the mesh, kind of like mesh. Like they're like a flat piece of metal with just a bunch of holes cut in it, but it's a more even heating surface, kind of like mesh, and the flavor is just outstanding. So I would say check that one out and get those coils in, because that would be a really good kit for your customers. Another really a couple of other really good products from Innikin are the little Coolfire Pebble. I'm not sure if they even have these anymore, but this is a Coolfire Pebble. It's I want to say like 80 watt. No, okay. This one is 50 watts. 50 watt little kit. And they also have another one that's the Coolfire. I can't remember. Coolfire Ace. Coolfire Ace. It's like a rounded one. It looks like a mini Coolfire Ultra, but that one is a really nice little kit. I think that one is like 60 watts. But for something cheap and easy, that would be what I would go for. And speaking of this little kit, it's been on the charger, but this is a Coolfire Pebble with the flawless dingy RDA on top. And just have a quick look at this. I mean, not bad for a kit this big. Now, the battery only lasts an hour, but hey, you know what? Take a little, you know, give and take with this one, but not bad for a tiny, tiny little kit like that.
You've also got that little Council of Vapor thing, ain't you?
Yeah, this is almost identical to the Council of Vapor one, but I actually like this one better, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the little light bar on it, so it tells you your battery life whenever you puff on it. It's got the little battery light indication there. I like the screen, and the battery life is a little bit better. Plus, the Council of Vapor one, I think, is only 40 watts. This one is 50. Not that it makes that much of a difference, but hey, there's that.
And just going back in chat, Vaping with Mobro. Yes, I do remember that advert that was promoting vaping along with the patches and the gum. And UK Andy, that just sounds fucking wrong, having bubble gum named Camel's Balls.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah. Apparently that's a thing around Birmingham. So your kid comes home eating chewing gum, and a parent asks, "What you got in your mouth there, son?" It's like, "Oh, just a bit of Camel's Balls." It's like, really? What the fuck?
Camel's balls. Now I want some. Next time I come over there, I need some.
And Thiefmaster is in the house.
Yeah, Mr. Vaping with Ken. Shout out to Vaping with Ken, of course. Make sure you guys check out his channel. I think he just celebrated a milestone, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Let's go over to his channel. I'm gonna go and check it out right now. Yeah, he just hit 1,000 subscribers. So congratulations, Ken. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well done, Ken.
We'll have to have Ken on at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think he would be a lot of fun. But yeah, Camel's balls. Okay, so yeah, that's a thing.
So you know, with mesh coils,
yeah.
How do you like them? Because I find them really, though I get some decent flavor, I find them really noisy.
Noisy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I find that they're a lot noisier than general. And
there's a mesh coil in here. Ready? Silent. Well, you know, as quiet as could be. Jesus.
But I just had a couple, and I found them really kind of.
What are
noisy.
they? Crackly?
What's Mike laughing at?
I don't know.
Nick.
Hey?
Just Nick.
Oh. What? Okay. What did I do?
Just a little quiet. Jesus, Mike.
Oh yeah. So this says regular coils in it. Let's try this one out. Well, this one is a rebuildable.
Yeah, that sounds windier.
It's a bit windier. It's a bit cracklier. I don't. Oh, here's a regular standard coil for you. The old Atlantis.
Yeah, that sounds quiet.
But what makes this one so much louder? I mean, there's more airflow in this tank. It's a quad
Yeah.
airflow, so it's just more airflow going to it, and the chimney section is wider than a normal 510. So it's a wider tip, the top piece there. So yeah, I feel like the more heat, the more wattage you put to it, the more it's gonna be loud and crackly and all that. But I'm not getting any spit back. I'm getting excellent flavor reproduction. The coil life is outstanding. I have customers that were getting a week out of a Baby Beast coil that get 3 weeks out of a mesh coil.
Right. Okay. Cool.
On their favorite juices. So mesh, as far as I'm concerned, with sub tanks, is like 2018. I'm not saying it's going to be forever, but until they find something even better than mesh, I feel like this is just such a better system than just standard round wire. Because if you think about it, round wire, goes down in a spiral like that. It's only hitting small portions of your cotton, and the heating surface, just like any coil, is from the middle of the coil outwards. So the middle of that coil is going to burn out quicker than the upper and lower sections.
Yeah, sure.
So with mesh, it still kind of heats from the middle section out, but it's a more flat, even heating surface area that touches more cotton. Mike, what is so funny?
Just reading Straight Slaper 4's comment.
God damn it. Why don't you read it out loud, Mike? No. Oh, man.
If Mike had his own tank, the airflow would sound like a wet fart.
Oh, my God. I need a sound clip. Oh, man. But yeah, mesh coils, I'm telling you, they're really good, Poggy. If you don't have any tanks that take mesh coils, I would highly suggest you look into some.
I wasn't being critical to the performance.
Okay.
So I'm getting decent. Sorry, I'm just trying to look for the one. I'm getting decent flavor, which is great. I'm getting decent vapor production. They just seem to be quite noisy compared to other coils. Whether that's something that we put up with because we're getting a better performance in general, then fair enough. It was just a general question on the noise value, not the performance.
Fair enough. Well,
sorry, Gary Hartland, you want a good pineapple? There you go, mate. Ultimate Juice pineapple slushy.
ooh, I have that one in a tiny little TPD bottle. I'm gonna have to give that one a shot.
It's sweet pineapple, really nice.
I went through all their other slush flavors, though. Oh my God, they make a damn good slush flavor. Let me tell you.
They do. Their blue slush is awesome. The new one's better than the original one.
I've enjoyed pretty much about 90% of the juice that I brought home. Like even the menthol ones, some of them are amazing. Like, dude, the Riot Squad Sublime, so mentholy, but damn, it's so refreshing. Like, honestly, like the reason my mouth didn't get completely dried out at Expo was because of that flavor. Because it made my mouth water. It was so like delicious. It's really good stuff.
Oh, Nick, with the Solo F2,
Right.
did you know that the coils are the same size as the Baby Beasts and
Yeah.
the
Baby
Vapor
Beast
SO?
They look like them, yeah. A lot of tanks are doing that. They're just kind of borrowing the thread size. Same thing with the new Geek Vape tank that they put out with their Legend. It fits Baby Beast coils.
Not that I'd wouldn't want to put a Baby Beast in it, but I was
Well,
just.
Baby Beast compatible coils. Let's put it that way. So you could put Vapresso Revenger coils in there. You could put Matofo Flux coils in there. You can put I use the Medusa coils, which are fantastic. They have actual staple wire inside a coil. But I'm waiting for the best results on whoever comes out with the best mesh coil for Baby Beast will be the winner of whatever coils I'm going to be putting in all of my mesh Baby Beast compatible tanks.
That Ultimate Juice is actually not bad on coils at all, Matt.
Yeah, actually, the Ultimate Juice Slushy range, I went through 3 of their bottles, of their 10 ml bottles, through my... what is it? Nunchaku coil, and it still is doing fine. The flavor is still outstanding.
I mean, I've gone through 100 ml bottle of that pineapple slush on one set of coils, and they're still good to use.
Right on. And Mobro has been asking about Blaz in the UK all night long, and no update as of yet. Actually, I mean, the only update that I would have is the fact that I had contacted the people that I handed sample packs out to at Expo, and they said, well, we get juice from the US for $3 a bottle. And I said, that's how much it cost to make. And they're like, well, that's what we're getting. And I'm like, okay, so bottom line is you're not picking us up. And yeah, I'm looking into getting a co-packer over there who would basically, we would send them the concentrates, they add the VG and label it and bottle it for us right there. So that's the next logical step for me. I do have to come up with the labels for the UK, which isn't really a challenge. Basically, it would just say no nicotine. But that is a definite possibility for the future of Blaz. But
have you got someone to do have you got a contact for doing that in the UK?
I do, yeah. Tommy is kind of arranging everything for me.
Okay.
He's being my concierge, if you will.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm working on it.
Well, if you need another one, I might know someone.
Fair enough. I've actually been kind of rolling around the idea of coming out with a juice line in the UK. And that would be kind of cool because I was planning a juice line for the States before August 8th. And then that whole thing started. And I was like, well, looks like I'm not getting the juice line out in time. And I mean, there was ways around it at first, but now it's like you had to have your ingredients, or not ingredients list, but you had to have your packaging submitted by like October or November of last year. And you have to have all these numbers and everything. So there's really no way you can do it anymore. I mean, legally speaking, you can't change the name of your line. You can't change the name of your flavors or anything like that at this point. So if I was to buy someone out of their juice line that was already submitted to the FDA, then I could do that. But that's the only way I'm getting a line available in the US market. So I was actually kind of thinking about the possibility of doing a range over there in the UK. Give me an excuse to come back over.
Like you need an excuse to come over.
That's true. That's very true.
And Gary Hartland, no, I've not tried their pear drops as yet.
Pear drop, that sounds good.
Ultimate Juice do a pear drop one, yes. I have known about it, but I've not tried it yet. And who was it again? Matt, I believe again, looking for an all-day summer vape. Try again Ultimate Juice, but their lemon and lime slushy. That is a really refreshing one.
I'm just gonna hold this up here. No, yeah. Hopefully, I'll get you guys the Blaz over there in the near future, because that stuff is good. Mike, what do you think? You like it?
What?
Blaz?
Yeah, damn right.
Poggy, did you end up trying it?
Oh, you mean this?
Oh, there it is. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like you guys would like it better if it had a little bit more sweetener in it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, definitely. I think I've mentioned to you before, the one thing I do find with Blaz is I drink a lot more when I do vape it.
Right. I wonder why, because we're using almost all VG. It's 80/20 high
Yeah.
VG. I wonder if that's the reason.
No, because I vape quite a lot of 80/20 stuff anyway.
Fair.
I
I wonder if
don't
it's
know
what's in
whether-
our nicotine.
It could be the nicotine that's in it, because as you
Mhm.
say, you steep it with the nicotine in it, so that could be the reason.
Oh yeah, that stuff that you got had been steeping for actually probably quite a few weeks before you got your hands on it. So
Yeah.
yeah. I'm really, really, really curious as to what it's going to be like when we do it for the short fill range, because what I'm thinking is probably adding a teensy bit more sweetener to it. We currently don't add any sweetener to it. That's why it's so good on coils.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking for the UK market, you guys would probably like it better if you had a little bit of added sweetener. Not so much that it's going to kill your coils in a day, but just enough to, give that little bit of extra, crispness to the flavor or what have you, and make it taste a little bit better without any sort of steep time, just shake and vape sort of status. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the plan. And I also want to test out some Nick shots as well, to see what works. Because you guys use VG based nicotine. Well, you use a VG solution. I'm sure your nicotine is still in PG, right? It's those little bottles are what, 70/30?
Yeah, usually.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
This is Ultimate Juice Nick shots I've got here. And fuck, am I going to be able to read that right?
Old man.
These are 100% VG.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Don't know if that's going to focus.
Probably not. Oh, there it goes. Here, wait, let me present you.
There you go.
No kidding. Ultimate Juice VG, 100% VG.
Yep.
Nice.
And I think the red bottle is, these are 15 milligram strength bottles, not 18 milligram strength bottles.
Is that because they're going to 100?
Yeah, you put two of the 15s in
18.
100 to make it up to 3 milligram. So they do the 18 milligram Nick shots as well, but they come with a black label.
Let's see. Yeah, like I said, the Blaz is currently no added sweetener. It does have a teeny bit of sweetener in the blue raspberry flavoring that we use, but it's not a lot. It's probably less than 0.5% overall. But I'm thinking about adding maybe either 0.5% to 1%, depends on the taste of it, and see how that goes. But I still want it to come out to 80/20 VGPG, because the flavoring is where all the PG comes from.
Yeah.
And it's actually like really good stuff.
A good majority of the juices we got over here are 70/30.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I like 80/20 because it tends to be a little bit smoother, a little bit cloudier, and it's, I don't know, it's just the right consistency. It drips well, it tanks well. It's just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I mean, I think the majority of what we get here is 70/30. We do have the like the beginner range juices that are 50/50, like the Vampire Vape and stuff like that, although they do a 70/30 range of that as well.
Right.
But,
well, I've just noticed that most of the juices that I've tried from over there are really sweet. They are really sweet.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, it's almost too much. The ones that I've got that I'm vaping in my regular rotation aren't the super sweet ones. I mean, this Vimto juice is a little bit on the sweeter side, but it doesn't have like that. It doesn't have any menthol in it, so it's not like freeze your throat cold, and it's a familiar flavor because I actually got to try Vimto, so I kind of know what it's meant to taste like, which is kind of fun.
is that a Snyder count for Jay Shetland Sam? Sub-Ohm 20 milligram Nick salts.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah. I've actually got 18 milligram Nick salts in my Me Pod, and it's bang on, man. It is good stuff.
See, again, I just cannot use Nick salts.
Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, well, you said it bothers you though, right? Makes
Yeah,
you.
it sets off my gastritis.
Yeah,
End up having to take the old omeprazole pills when I use Nick salts.
Yeah, that's no good. I can see that. I can totally understand. It's not the nicotine that bothers you. You could handle the nicotine, no problem. It's just, the other issues.
I don't know. I do get nicked out on 3 mil at times.
Well, you're also using the, crazy powerful mechanical devices as well.
Meh.
0.1 coil.
Not all the time. Sometimes I'm nearer the 0.2.
Poggy, what are you vaping on over there?
Well, this.
Blaz. I could see because the cloudage over there, man.
Well, I tried it when the first, when you gave it to me at Expo, I tried it, and then I haven't had it again since because I've been testing a million juices since. But so I was just because we were talking about it, I thought, no, remind myself of how good this juice is.
Well, cheers.
It is a fantastic flavour.
Still going funky at times, Matt.
What's going funky?
My vision. Right, my squint is coming back.
Oh, man. Time to go to the eye doctor.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to go too soon.
Yeah, it's going to be another £400.
Oh, 400 pounds?
Yeah.
I thought you had nationalized healthcare over there.
If you're entitled to it, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Opticians, if you're not on the dole or anything like that, you're not entitled to free eye care. You have to pay for that.
Damn, 400 pounds.
Same as hearing care.
That
don't get me wrong, I don't have to pay £400 for my glasses. I can get cheaper ones, but I prefer to pay for the quality ones.
Well, the good coating ones, right? Where it's non-reflective, yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if I need milk bottles for glasses next time.
I mean, my prescription is up there. I'm at negative 3.75 in both eyes.
Yeah, I ain't got a clue on mine.
No, me neither.
Actually, I have a copy of my... Oh, here it is right here. Look at that. My prescription. There you go. For those of you that want to know my glasses prescription, if you can read that, there you go.
Nope.
Exactly. But yeah, I definitely.
I've not had a curry today, Joe, so everyone's safe.
We're all bespectacled in here. Free eye test in Scotland. Oh man, and free prescriptions. Wow.
Down here, we pay anywhere between £10 and £30 for an eye test. And some opticians are as cheap as £30 for a pair of glasses, which are the cheaper, nasty ones that are going to break the first time I wear them. So that's why I tend to go for the not exactly designer frames, but the more expensive ones. But all the money goes on the lenses.
Yeah, I get I go to Zenny Optical. Just order them online. I paid probably about $50 for these glasses altogether.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this pair I'm wearing now cost me $320.
They better be indestructible.
No, I mean they're bent out of shape now.
Oh man, come on, Mike, get it together.
I mean, I've got to think of my job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I'd rather pay the money to keep my license. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what the optician says about my eyes this time when I go.
Oh man, you're gonna have to get like those. You need what do they call them? Bifocals. You're just gonna wear them like this.
That. I might be old, but I ain't that old.
Oh, right. What juice do I have in here? Oh wow, it makes my eyes look really weird.
It's funny you saying that actually, because the doctor or the optician last time I had my eyes tested did say that I could do with bifocals, and I told him where to go.
No, you're just gonna have a pair of glasses around your neck for reading and a pair you wear all the time. And you're just gonna like switch them back and forth.
Right. Well, all I'll do is my usual: get one pair of glasses that I wear at night time, and I'll get another pair for daytime. Because even when I'm driving when it's raining, I have to wear sunglasses because of my vision. Because I'll get the glare off of the road.
Oh yeah, that's the worst, man. When it's late at night and you just see headlights coming at you and all you see is stars.
Yeah, tell me
Oh,
about it.
that's the battle. The people with glasses know the struggle. That and just the reflections. Like even right now, you can see my lights in my glasses right there coming from either side. People always complain about my studio lights when I record videos. It's just I have this ring in one of my eyes. It's like, look, it's lighting, all right? I have to have light in my office. If you want it dark, then, you know, that's going to be a whole other problem. But I will lend you two beer glasses, says Jason Smith. Nice.
Mike needs to get a white stick out the window of the coach. That will scare the kids. Yep. And Shetland Sam says, can't you get a prescription windscreen?
Why did I just picture, oh man, why did I picture a bus with a pair of glasses on it? Is that just me? There's your Photoshop, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Put it in the meme group. Nice.
Could you imagine the cost of a prescription windscreen?
That'd be really weird because it would be like a foot thick for Mike.
Yeah, quite easily. Yep. But no, I mean, the standard windscreen on my coach is £2,500.
Oh, why do you know that?
Because my boss had to replace one not that long ago.
Well, fair enough. Oh, man.
But £2,500 for a standard windscreen. So, yeah, with my prescription, you're probably looking at about £8,000.
At least. Good God.
It'd make everyone else feel sick trying to look out the front window, wouldn't it?
Oh,
yeah. I ain't cleaning that shit up.
I also want to point out the fact that people looking in would probably be magnified like 10 times. So it'd just be Mike's face like this. Oh man, that would be great. Yeah. So I actually wanted to mention a few things real quick. As far as vaping goes, again, getting back on that whole topic. Has anyone seen anything about the Drop Dead recently?
Nope.
Oh man, I meant to be getting one pretty soon. Oh God, Mike. Really?
Well, they were complaining in chat that I was quiet.
Oh, great! Now you got them started. But I'm pretty excited about the Drop Dead because it's meant to be it's a collaboration between the Drop and the Dead Rabbit, so that's going to be pretty cool. Those are like two of my favorite atomizers right now, so I'm pretty excited about that one. I'm supposed to be getting one in pretty soon. Definitely looking forward to that. Is there anything else coming out recently that you've heard of that you're excited about?
One mod that I do want to get my hands on. It's been out for a little while now. It's the Omen mod from New Zealand.
Omen?
Yeah.
Is it a mech?
It is a mech.
Of course.
It's only a tube mech as well. But they're I think the only place available in this country with them at the moment is Evolution Vaping. And
how much is it?
I think it's about £270.
God, that's a lot for a mod, man.
Silly money.
It is a lot of money, but it's still not as much as some of the purges, and it's not as much as some of the rogues.
Poggy, do you carry mechs at your shop?
No, not at the moment. It's something I might I'll venture into at some point, but step by step, and I think it's more that being comfortable to sell them, because you're going to get people come in and say, "Oh, I just want to buy a mech," but they don't know anything about it, and it's being able to go, right, no, I need you to show me that you are able to use the mech,
I feel like you should just put an RDA in front of them and just be like, build it. Or
Yeah, I think to some degree there needs to be some form of, I'm going to say test, but some form of something that people who come in and buy a mech need to prove. It's almost as though they need a license to do it, you know, because I mean, there's another thing. There's a not that there's another one of these blow ups that is going around Facebook at the moment.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Well, a few things have come out about that actually that I thought were kind of interesting. If you care to talk about that for a second, seeing as we're on the topic. One is I've heard that it was an old. Oh, hold on. Let me present Mike for a second.
That's the Omen mod.
Ooh, that is gorgeous.
It's actually $299.99.
Oof, God, bit rich for my blood. So yeah, I would say
Stephen, of course you passed.
Nice.
Stephen picked up 3 Dreamer extensions.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
he's stacking them.
Yeah, Stephen actually sent me a photo with having it quad stacked, basically.
Yeah, Stan was talking about that the other day. I'm pretty sure it was Steven that chimed in about that because Stan was like, "Holy crap, someone has a quad stack Dreamer." It was like,
yeah.
But as far as the explosion, the new one, first of all, they're trying to sue VGod for what happened. It's come out
Really?
that the mod was actually a clone, VGod mod.
Hang on, is this that picture that was on Facebook earlier on today?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually been proved that happened over a year ago.
Right, and the other thing was that it's an older photo because in their newer photos you can see the scar on his lip on Facebook.
Yeah.
And they're go ahead.
Also, yet again, he'd stuck a sub-ohm tank on a mech.
Mm-hmm. Sub-ohm tank on a mech.
Knob jockey.
But is it personal responsibility or is it shop responsibility? And at the end of the day, why does that even exist? Why is that even a thing? You know, I understand for people like you, Mike, it makes perfect sense because you are a trained professional and you know exactly what you're doing. Well, you know, we're getting there. But, you know, you are good at what you do. You know the safety factor of it and you know what's right and what's wrong.
Yep.
Whereas some of these people are going into a shop. The shop doesn't know any better not to sell them to the person. You know, they say they either don't include the fact that they're going to be putting a sub-ohm tank on top of what they're buying, or the shop just doesn't know any better to sell both of them to them at the same time and go, there you go, have fun.
Yep.
So,
I mean, personally, I believe if you're buying it from a bricks and mortar store, it's down to the people that are selling the mod. And I don't just mean the shop owner, I mean the shop staff. They need to know what they're selling. They need to know the product inside and out. They also need to know how to build safely. They need to be able to pass that knowledge on to the person that's trying to buy the mech mod. And they need to be able to tell the person, you do not do this, you do this, this, and this. But it's also down to the person who's buying it to do his damn research.
absolutely. Now, Bronco Monk said it's his personal fault 100%. If you crash your car, seller is not at fault. And although I kind of agree with that sentiment, it's also the fact that if a seller sells you an unsafe car, then that is their fault. So if the shop is selling a sub-ohm tank with a mech mod and saying, yeah, you could put it on there, no problem, go ahead, give it a rip.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't blow up right there in the shop, then they walk out the door and blow themselves up at home. That is definitely the seller's fault. If the customer comes in to the shop and says, I want a mech mod, and the guy goes, yeah, sure, there you go, boom, out the door, zip, doesn't ask any follow-up questions. What are you putting on top of it? What resistances are you using? What batteries are you using? This, that, the third, you know, that is definitely a little bit of shop responsibility. At the end of the day, it kind of always falls down upon the buyer of the mod, the person that's actually buying it and putting the sub-ohm tank on top and blowing themselves up. I feel like it always kind of comes down to that person. However, if a shop is being irresponsible enough to sell the two things together and saying that it'll work, then that's the shop's fault.
Yeah, I mean, even the mechanical mods that does have a 510 pin, I still would not put a sub-ohm tank on that mod. I know technically you could get away with it, but it's not worth the risk.
Right. So the other thing would be, what steps could the industry do to kind of prevent that? Like, do you think all tanks should have a fixed pin? Or is it
personally? I think that whether it's a sub-ohm tank, an RTA, or an RDA, it should come with like the RDA type pins, where they do protrude a minimum of a millimeter.
right? I think that would be a good idea because pretty much every mod nowadays has a floating 510 pin in it.
Yeah.
So what's the point of having a floating pin on your tank? Because it's not like, I mean, everything on a coil, like a coil, right? So I don't have a visual example in front of me. Coil at the bottom, they have an insulator piece, and then you have your little connection, your positive connection, which is floating. So if the coil doesn't make contact, then just loosen it a little bit, little tiny wiggle, and then screw it back down. Job done. You're all set. It works. So, I mean, there's no need to have a floating pin on a sub-ohm tank nowadays. Just have it a fixed pin, call it a day.
Yep. Jay, we're probably streaming for maybe about another 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's no after show because I'm up at dawn's crack.
Once again.
Well, in actual fact, I'm up earlier than dawn's crack tomorrow.
Yeah, that sounds brutal. No, thank you. That's the time I'm going to bed.
Yeah, no, I'm actually climbing out of my bed at 2 a.m. tomorrow.
Oof. Brutal.
I probably won't actually climb into my bed tonight.
Oh, come on. You got to get some sleep. It's not that late, Mike.
Well, it's only going to give me, if I go to bed in 10 minutes, it's only going to give me 4.5, 5 hours. Top whack.
Oh, we better end this soon then, if that's the case.
All right.
Oh, man.
Live. Jay's in the house.
Yeah. Hi, Jay. Hi. We've already made fun of you a few times tonight. It's okay. without even you being here.
Hashtag treehouse.
Oh man, you know what I should have done since I knew he wasn't going to be here? I should have taken a photo of him and just cut it out and put it on a stick and just like mimicked him the entire night. Kushti.
See, what we're going to have to do is when you figure out the OBS as well, you're going to have to put a background drop for it for us all to be in a shack.
Oh, I have a green screen. I'm ready and waiting to do that. I can put myself right next to Jay if I wanted to. Oh yeah, I'm gonna work on OBS on my downtime here. Downtime in between now and when I have to edit my vlog later on tonight. But yeah, I think it's funny though. The people last week that said they saw some of my setups that I unboxed in the vlog on Savs. It's because I pre-record my vlogs on Saturday nights and I release it on Monday morning or Monday at noon. So yeah, you'll be able to see stuff that I got in here today that I haven't even unboxed yet on video until tomorrow. So Jay says, you want to be right next to Jay, don't you, Nick? Yeah, man. Why not?
Yeah, they're going to have a bromance.
In your hot tub. All right, maybe not. Vape Man Cave. Yeah, there it is.
And Joe, yes, I do drive all around the country, mate.
More power to you, Mike.
Hey, we're only an island. Ain't that big an island.
Still. You still have crazy drivers.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Fair enough. Right on. So yeah, I think we should probably end it here. I think it's about time. So Mike can get a few minutes of sleep.
I'll be all right.
Well,
I'll be all right. I mean, once I've done the airport run in the morning, I've got nothing until tomorrow afternoon. So I'll get some kip then.
yeah, true, fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and go around and say our goodbyes. I think, Poggy, since you are our esteemed guest, you get to go first.
Well, thank you for letting me back on. It's great to come and be on here again. And we're getting closer to London.
Yeah.
So that's what we 2.5 months away.
25th, 26th of August.
Yeah, about 2.5 months. Yeah.
So yeah. So thank you for having me on today. And
if you're in the area, check out his shop.
Yeah, please. If you're down in the Midlands, rugby area, please do pop in, have a coffee, chat. No obligation to buy anything. Just come and say hello.
Stroke his beard.
Yeah. No. But yeah, please do pop in and all have a very good week. We didn't even mention the World Cup.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm American, so I forget about all things.
Oh, you talking about the World Cup? Did anyone see that stupid RDA that's come out?
Oh God! Oh, the soccer ball globe thing. Oh my God, that's hideous.
Fumitech, isn't it?
Yeah.
That thing
I saw
hideous.
Fagin's review on it yesterday.
Did he kick it?
No, surprisingly, the airflow was pretty good on it. But obviously, because of the shape of the chamber being a big bloody solid brass ball, it had next to no flavour.
Go figure. So airflow great, flavor shit.
Yeah,
because eLeaf have brought out a World Cup mod as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just.
Oh dear.
The less we talk about it, the better. Honestly.
Okay. Anyway, England are playing tomorrow.
So yeah, pay attention to it tomorrow then.
All I can say is #fuckfoosball.
Poggy, I put a link to your website in the description of this video, so guys, make sure you check that out. Is there a way to subscribe? You can follow it, right?
You can subscribe to my blog on WordPress. It will give you every time I publish, it will send you an email notification to say that I've launched something. But yeah, go to the website. That would be cool. You can check out the stuff that I'm stocking. But there's also a link to my blog, which please do go and have a read of some of the reviews or blogs that I've done. That would be great. And my shop is called Mr. VP.
There you go. All right. Mike, you're up.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us again tonight. And thanks for coming on, Poggy. Always good to see you, dude.
No worries.
And thanks, Nick, for hosting tonight. Eventually.
Yeah, great. Uh-huh. Well,
yeah, #Nick's fault this week.
Yep, absolutely 100% my fault. Well, Mike, thanks for being your usual gassy self.
Hey, I was tame tonight.
Tame, yeah. You saved it to the last bit, but right.
Gotta let these things brew up.
Never fails. He's like clockwork. I am going to pimp my own channel this week. Make sure you guys go check me out on YouTube if you haven't already. Daily Vape TV. I'm almost at 27,000 subscribers, so it would be awesome if you join the club. Stay tuned. Next week we will be off because I'll be in Canada. However, I believe 2 weeks from now we will be back on. Hopefully we will have the full crew plus a very esteemed guest as always. But yeah, don't forget to check out the Daily Vape TV Cloud Crew page on Facebook, as well as the Super Awesome Vape Show page and the Sab's meme group as well. The links are all down in the description there. We have our own meme group for people that like using Photoshop and photoshopping our lovely faces on various inanimate objects and what have you. But with that, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm glad eventually I could get things kind of sorted out. Yeah, I really need to work with OBS a little bit more before I attempt it again. I thought I had it down. Apparently I don't, but we've moved on from that. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next show. Not next week, next show.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.